I'll wait for some fans to hop in here. YouTube slow with the notifications. Talk to me, y'all. What's going on? How y'all feeling tonight? All right, let's start cooking. All right, so Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu kind of went how I thought it was going to go. I think the fight has been beaten out of Tim Tszyu. And I never really thought much of him as a fighter. I did think that he was improving. But people kind of let carefully manicured matchmaking give them a higher opinion of Tszyu than what he actually was. Like ass or shit. But to me, Tim Tszyu is a C plus fighter, right? A C plus fighter that has and puts on exciting fights because Tim's gonna fight you, no matter what. And Tim's gonna fight you. He's not gonna break down. Got a lot of heart, but sometimes his heart gets hit that his ass can't handle. Pause. With Fundora in the first fight, I felt like he was on his way to possibly beating Fundora because Fundora could not get away from that right hand. Tim had that right hand down pat. It was timed perfectly. But since then, Fundora has done a really, really good job of controlling his distance up until last Saturday's bout, in which he just had a fucking slugfest with Tim. And the reality is, Tim don't have the punch resistance that he once had. And I think that was due to, of course, the cut on top of his head and him going through a war that lost a lot of blood, took a lot of punishment. But Bakhram Murtazaliev is what did it. Bakhram Murtazaliev kind of like broke something in Tim. And it could have been a much more competitive fight, but the reality of it was Tim coming off of losing his belt, wanted to make a statement, kind of played Bakhram for sweet, and just went in there and tried to press him. By trying to press him, he ended up putting Bakhram to fucking, well, Bakhram ended up putting him to fucking sleep. Like, so 3 out of the last 4 fights, Tim was in wars. And to me, I think it's over for Tim at the top level. But that don't mean he got to stop fighting, but I think that he should scale a level back. But that begs the question, though. At 154, who's going to be the last man standing? Right now, got more questions than answers. Because you got the champion in recess, Jermell Charlo, who's really the man at 154 pounds. How's he going to look like if he comes back? Is he coming back? And what fights are there? You got Keith Thurman, a guy who was highly successful. Now he's older. First things first, somebody got to tell Keith to cut that shit off his head, yo. somebody like Keith needs a no man. He like, you know how you got yes men? Keith needs a no man. Like, somebody got to tell Keith, cut that shit off your head, bro. For me, I'm getting light in my corners or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't there yet. So do me a favor. If y'all ever see me drawing like Keith is, if you ever see me with some shit, my shit like here, just tell me, Mill, cut that shit. Send me a super chat, say cut that shit. Somebody need to tell Keith, his dad, his brothers, his homies, his wife, somebody need to tell him to cut that shit. Keith hairline is here, yo. Keith shit is here. Come on, that's not a good look. How can I put that on a poster? I know Al Heyman's his advisor. I'll need to advise him to get a fucking baldy. That's what he do. Al needs to advise Keith to get a fucking baldy. Because Keith is drawn out here. Anyway, got Keith. Xander Zayas, up-and-coming fighter. Virgil Ortiz, another. I can't even consider Virgil up-and-coming, even though Virgil hasn't fought for a world title yet. Virgil's like a now fighter. Jaron Ennis just moved up. Bakhram Murtazaliev, dangerous motherfucker. You got Erickson Lubin looking to get back. I think the IBF ordered him versus Bakhram. So that's next. Israel Majimov coming off 2 losses, but in 2 good fights. Sergey Boyachuk looking to bounce back. Yeah, man. This is an intriguing matchup. Keith's drawn, yo. Keith's drawn. Cut that shit off your head, Keith. If you're watching me, this comes from, I'm a little bit older than you. Keith, cut that shit off your head. Mark, that's a good point, right? So I do feel like Virgil Ortiz, he skates by criticism. And I'm not sure why. If we want to tell the truth, there was like a young guard coming into 147 pounds. That was like the generation after Earl Spence and Terence Crawford. And to my knowledge, Virgil, Connor Ben, and Rashidi Ellis are the only ones that never fought for a world title. Boots won one. Stanionis won his. Xander's fighting for one this weekend. There was like a whole group of young 47s. And Virgil, Connor Ben, and Rashidi Ellis still hasn't fought for a world title. Ryan Norman got his. Yeah. Yo, ain't shit. We talking about the 154-pound division, and it's like Virgil Ortiz kind of skates by criticism because the Bakhram Murtazaliev fight was offered to him. They declined. They declined because they felt like it was too many tough fights in a row, according to his promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, and they wanted a softer touch. Somehow that didn't become mainstream news. But when you hear other people turn down fights, then here comes a bunch of criticism. And I'm waiting for Virgil. I'm waiting for Virgil to get his crack at a world title.
Gym earlier too. I was at Coach Ian gym, and I was like, we was explaining how Boots is kind of a Black American in a boxing situation where you're always going to get criticized when you're on top. Nothing. He can go even when he fights Virgil Ortiz, because I'm going to say when he beats Virgil Ortiz, he's not going to get the credit is always going to be some type of criticism, which one is him being a Black American boxer who don't got no like core like country fan base behind him, and then is when you there on top as an athlete. So no matter what it is, you could tell them the whole situation. Media going to determine one thing. People going to be stuck in their ways and be so fanned out. So it's at the point where I really don't debate the stuff like Virgil Ortiz. Just because they hear the tune up. I'm like, yo, it just put out there they got what's his name, Check as a tune up. That's not a tune up. That's a contender for your first fight coming up. But then people, when you mention that, you be like, oh man, well, he should be fighting this and that. I'm like, dude, Virgil fought Thomas Delarme, who was really a 147, 140 pound and got knocked out in the first round by Boots.
Started his career off at 35.
Yeah, so it's gonna be unrealistic criticism. On their end, they're gonna push the narrative because Boots ain't really like a media guy like that. He don't really like to push it. Boots is gonna be the type of person to be like, let them all talk all they want, and then when I announce it, let them all look salty, but they're gonna find a way, whoever he announced, they're gonna find a way to hate, to criticize. Cause I know Boots is looking for all top 10 type of opponents, and he gonna get whoever he can get. But I promise you, whoever he gonna get is better than when Virgil Ortiz first moved up. And even though they saying a commitment, people are still criticizing. I just hope what I hope for Boots is he announced the fight, and then when he announced the fight, he can also announce the day with Virgil, kind of what Tank did with Ryan Garcia when he fought Hector Garcia. So yeah, like if I had to pick, I'll say it'd be probably be an opponent like Charles Conwell. Them lanes, they ain't tune-ups. You gonna be in a contender fight. They tough fights.
I think that rhetoric was put out for a reason. You know what I mean? It shapes a certain narrative. The reality is, I know the names that was offered, and I wouldn't consider any one of those guys tune-ups. I think that fans, if one of these guys take the fight, I think that fans will be very happy in the level of opponent.
But what
Like
I'm
Sergey, go ahead.
what I'm saying is like how there's going to be fans. If it ain't Virgil or none of the champions, there's going to be fans. People are going to criticize. People going to find a way to criticize Boots. And to be honest, I think there's opponents that are tougher. That'll be a tougher outgoing than Virgil, stylistic wise, like Tellez, Ramos. But if he got one of them names, people are not people going to still criticize because they
Damone,
don't
what
got the
up?
brand. You
No,
you
no,
get
I feel you. People kind of more so react off of brand names
yeah
than actual good boxing. It's like, all right, so you remember Virgil Ortiz chose Israel Madrimov over Xander Zayas, which I don't fault him for it because Madrimov was coming off a good performance against Bud, and I consider him versus Xander a big fight in the future. Here's the reality, right? Terence Crawford is holding the WBA, but we all
yeah
know Terence Crawford isn't coming back down.
yeah
And so that opens up a litany of possibilities for unification bout. Whether it's Fundora, whether it's Xander, if he gets this belt, because there's no foregone conclusion that Xander's gonna win that fight this weekend. The dude, Garcia, is coming off a great performance against Charles Conwell, and we got to see how that shit shakes out. JR, what up? But and we got to see what happens with the WBA. Wink, wink.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
So
hopefully the WBA strips Crawford when he fights Canelo. Like because Bud, he's doing Bud things. He's holding on to the belt even though he don't got no plans. Just relinquish it. Let it go.
I think Bud is only going to go. He only probably wants to go into the fight as a champion. You know what I mean? Going to that fight as a champion. But I don't see Bud holding on to that belt any longer than this next fight. Because there's no point. Like Bud's doing all this beefing up to get to 68, right? To be comfortable at 68 against Canelo. You know that's a recipe for disaster for you to come back down.
Somebody said, I'm reading Chino. Damone Daniels Boots doesn't have to fight Fundora. Fundora might move up in the weight class in 2 years before the fight even. I people people with Fundora, they trying to make it seem like, oh no, Boots, trust me, will go right after Fundora once he gets the WBA. The offer's gonna get sent right to him. Don't now they painting this narrative that, oh yeah, people gonna avoid Fundora. People ain't gonna avoid Fundora.
Um, it's going to honestly, I see it's going to take a while for Boots to get the Fundora because his next fight, then it's going to be Virgil, and then like yeah, you looking at Fundora possibly 2026, but Boots could go into a fight with Bakhram Murtazaliev. Boots could go into like Jermell Charlo's the champion in recess,
Yeah.
and so if Crawford vacates his strip and they both put in, because Boots being the super champion at 47. If Charlo puts in his petition and Boots put his petition, then you got Charlo versus Boots for the vacant WBA.
Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. What I'm saying is when because none of them dudes is gonna try to fight Boots without a type. They ain't gonna voluntarily just fight Boots. So that's what I'm saying. Boots get that WBA. People like it's a whole narrative, especially after the fight with Tim Tszyu is people are going to avoid Fundora. When Fundora been champion for like what at least a year or so now, and he got offers. It ain't like people was avoided him. What I'm saying is Boots gonna treat the same. If he gets a title at 154, he gonna try to get the other title list. There might be like mandatory or something like that, but he's gonna do the same thing. They'd be like, oh, he's gonna duck Madrimov. He's gonna duck Fundora. I'm like, yo, y'all must not really know this kid. Once he get the titles, it's all green. Like he's same thing he did at 147. Oh, I got the title at LBF. He offered all the other champions. Now they didn't take it. Cool. He finally got Stanionis. But he's gonna do the same thing at 154. People try and paint this like he avoiding or this and that. No, that ain't Boots. Once he get a title, his whole thing is he wants to unify.
I think that's just natural boxing fan. Like boxing fans believe when certain fights don't happen, it's because somebody is scared. But the reality is, motherfuckers already be having plans before people move up or certain people want to fight them. It's like Fundora. I'm hearing that Keith is promised the winner of the Jew versus Fundora. And so I can't say that he's ducking other people if that's already something that he had on his plate. Do I see Keith fighting Fundora? I do not. Fundora is one of the most difficult people to prepare for.
Yeah, you gotta
And
deal with that height and awkwardness, but they
yo,
try and make it seem like
you
they try and make it seem like because I remember Terence Crawford at one point was gonna go after him. They try to make it seem like everybody's gonna avoid. I think who Keith Thurman is more like he's an older guy, so he's really picking and choosing his fights. But I think all the young guys will fight Fundora. I think Ramos will fight him, Boots will fight him. Of course, Lubin already fought him.
yo, Damone's asking you, do you think Boots is gonna run through 154?
Do I think he's going 1 through 50? I'll favor him against everybody at 154. 1 through is like knocking everybody out in 3 rounds, but that's what I call 1 through. But he's going to be favored to beat everybody at 154. And I told people, you're going to see more out of Boots at 154 than at 147.
I think that he but if by run through, do you mean that is he gonna beat everybody at 54?
Yeah.
I think he's going to run into some resistance. There are a couple of people that could beat him at 54, like Fundora, Charlo. Those are the only two dudes that I could see possibly beating him.
I
But
think Charlo Fundora be a tougher fight than Charlo to me. The two that you got awkward fights like Tellez will be an awkward fight, and Pride Ramos will be an awkward fight.
hey, here, I
But
saw
I
somebody
favor
say he ain't
Boots.
beating Fundora. Here's the thing about that fight, though. Everybody looks at against certain type of players, guys that are going. When Brian Mendoza stopped him, Fundora. If you go back to the Tim Tszyu fight, Fundora makes himself available. You just
Yeah.
have to be able to hurt and get away while hurting him. Tim Tszyu isn't able to do that. That's not a skill set. Jermell Charlo, somebody like a Terence Crawford, has that capability of being able to throw a looping shot and then leaving out of the back door.
I got Boots. I got Boots actually stopping Fundora style wise. Fundora's gonna be right there to get hit. Boots can fight in the inside. He's gonna loop out of it. I think Boots if I had to pick, I think he stops Fundora. Somebody wrote Boots will be tested everywhere for no easy fight. Very top heavyweight division def. Josh Kelly stylist. Josh Kelly gets his shit knocked right out of fucking ring. Ramos is tough. Ramos is a good fighter. Bakhram is tough. I think Virgil people Virgil won't beat Tellez. I'll tell you that right now. I will favor Tellez to beat Virgil.
Jesus Ramos is a tougher fight than Virgil
Yeah,
Ortiz.
Ramos beats Virgil. I'll favor Bakhram to beat Virgil. Virgil gets Josh Kelly out of there. But
yeah, I think Virgil gets Xander too.
that will be a good. I need to see more of
It's
Xander.
a good fight, but I feel like Virgil is a bit more sturdy, even though Xander's more athletic.
But Virgil, I don't know what it is. It's just an attachment. But Virgil ain't what people like. His defense is just straight suspect. Backroom, that's gonna be, how can I describe it? He's getting piped up so much that's gonna be. I remember I had a lot of confidence. I'll give you an example of that fight, right? Where I had to compare it to somebody that I had a lot of confidence and they might be favoring because he got a lot of hype. I was so confident that Danny would beat Matisse. That's how confident I'm going to be with Boots with Beckwell. People going to push this killer narrative, but stylistically and all that, I think Boots is going to beat Beckwell.
I
That's
think
where they push the machine like, yeah, this hard hitting dude, yeah, he might. I was like, Danny going to show up and watch what happens. That's
you
where I'm
got
going.
but all right, so this weekend you got what's his name? Jorge Garcia? Is that his name, y'all? Against Xander? I think this is a good test for Xander, even though I don't think that the WBO would have ordered Conwell versus Xander. But I feel like WBO is a Puerto Rican sanctioning body, and Xander is an up and coming Puerto Rican star.
Yeah,
And
you
I
know
think they
that.
want him with that belt.
That's the top rank belt right there.
Yeah, I think they want him with that belt because Puerto Rico is devoid of an attraction right now. Amanda Serrano was the only one.
People tell us somebody tell us ain't ready. I think Tellez,
Let
I need to
me
see
get the
more of
super
him.
chat real fast.
I think he's a little bit more skilled than Jermell. I need to see more of Tellez though.
Let me get this super chat, Johnny. If Bud stops Canelo, where do I rank him? Ooh, okay. So it's two different rankings, right? You got the modern era, and then you got all time. Modern era, I think that puts him in like top 5, top 10 all time. Put him in like top 20, top 15. Like I don't think people realize how many fighters it was all time that's done some amazing shit. Like Henry Armstrong. Didn't Henry Armstrong hold belts at 126, 135, and 147 simultaneously?
Yeah.
To me, that's some incredible shit. And so I can't rank Terence Crawford ahead of a Ray Robinson, Henry Armstrong. But when you talk about like modern era, which would be, I think, like the 70s on, then yeah, him stopping Canelo, I would say top 10.
Yeah,
That'd be like some Superman shit.
yeah, eras. It's just tough, It's eras. What Shakur did was kind of corny about what he said about Robinson and all that. Like, it's just, it's just hard. It's just hard. That's why I say eras. That's why I don't like being like, yo, Sugar Ray Robinson or Floyd Mayweather. It's different eras. Business was different. It's different styles, technology. They all great for their eras, and Terence Crawford would be right up there for great for his era. Now,
Yeah. I want to say this. Salute to Sabril Matias, man.
Well, what
Salute to
happened?
Sabril Matias for smacking the shit out that clown, man.
Oh, of Tiafimo?
Yeah,
Yo,
man.
send me that. I didn't see it. See, I'll be out the loop.
Salute to Sabril, man. Sabril ain't for all the back and
Did
forth chitter
Tiafimo try to
chatter, man.
slap back or anything?
Smack the shit out that chump, yo.
Did Tio try to slap him back or anything?
He know better. He know better than that. Yo, say what you want about Matias. He ain't the most skilled dude. He not. But look, I don't give a fuck who you are. You are gonna go through life and death fighting him.
Ortiz and Najee, the only ones that held it
Yeah,
down.
2 cents.
Yo, you need to send me that. I didn't see it.
He smacked the glasses off of me. Or he smacked the glasses down. He gave him a good rap across the Jack Johnson.
If Bud stops Canelo, he's better than Duran. This and that. What Duran did was great. People sleep on what Duran did, bro. Duran, like people. When we look at the '80s, like the Leonard, Duran, Hagler, Duran was more out of his prime fighting him. Like the prime
He was
Duran was like 135. He
135,
went
and
up,
he had a lot of fights.
yeah, and he went up to 160 and fought Hagler and was giving out work and stuff like that. Like,
Yo, wait. The size difference in Matias and Tszyu was drastic. Like my man said, that shit was crazy. Seeing them two dudes next to each other, bro,
yeah,
and dudes think that Tszyu had a shot at beating dudes at 47. Bro,
no,
Matias made him look like a little boy, yo.
Jermell looks huge compared to you. Tell Bozy to recruit Morrell. Crawford losing. I just respect weight classes on that fight. Oh, for real, man. That's why Tio fight. Got no credit for Tio.
What Tszyu got to understand is everybody's not for internet games.
Yeah,
And you got to read the room. He want to do that back and forth Twitter shit in real life. You look at Sabril Matias and think that he's an internet guy. He's a black Puerto Rican with blonde hair. He looked like fucking Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man.
Probably not going to happen. But Bozy would be a good coach for Morrell. Yeah, it's.
Oh, see, he asked us about Bud and Boots. Damone, I feel like we've been unfairly labeled as Terence Crawford haters, and that's not the truth. But I feel like styles make fights, right? So Terence Crawford fans saw him against Earl Spence and feel like because Spence was so decorated and a good fighter that nobody has a chance with him because of the way he destroyed him. But you got to think, everything that Crawford is, like all the abilities that he has over Spence, he doesn't have those over Boots. He's given up he's giving up 10 years of age. He's giving up 2 inches of height against a naturally bigger man. Right? Boots is a naturally bigger man than Crawford. And so Crawford being 38 years old, Crawford's not going to be on his feet for the whole fight. He can't do it. Like if you notice, older fighters are more plodding. Like he still has quickness, but he's not going to move around for 12 rounds. Bud is going to fight you, and Bud is going to look to punch in between Boots' punches because that's the best chance that he has at winning. Because the reality is, older fighters fight at a slower pace. They're more methodical, whereas those younger fighters are more blistering. So how I would look at it is, you got one dude that's a sniper from 200 yards away. He's going to sit there under, grass, and he got camouflage on. He's going to try to get you a one shot. Whereas though Boots, a younger dude, is going to try to kick in the door with the Uzi. I just think that Bud is going to sit down and he's going to fight him. And then Bud's going to get caught in the exchange because he's 10 years older. He can't be as quick to the draw with Boots as he was in his younger days and what he was to Earl Spence or Canelo Alvarez. Similar skill sets, similar makeups. It's just that one is bigger and one is younger. And so I think it's going to be a competitive fight. Bud is going to see something. He's going to pull the trigger, and I think he's going to get caught in the process.
That I've been saying that people going what you call is just too much. When it comes to boxing, people be like, "Oh yeah, all Bud has is pro experience." Like Boots is already experienced as a pro, bigger, athletic, younger. Bud don't got nothing I can say that ability wise over Boots, and Boots is just a bigger, younger man, and it's a bad match. It's just an all around bad matchup. It's just it's a bad matchup. It's just
Hey, Damone, you're right. Younger dudes do have the tendency. I feel like Bud had a better shot 2-3 years ago. But now you got to understand, even though Boots is younger than Bud, Boots isn't exactly young anymore. Boots is 28 years old, and he's smack dab in the middle of his prime. And so the best shot that Bud has is walking him down a dark alley and blowing his brains out. But the problem is, you got to stand in a fire to do that. And age does mean something in boxing. I feel like Terence Crawford fans think that Bud is the only fighter that's not affected by age when it affects everybody. You show me the great older fighter. Show me the great older fighter 99 times out of 100. When they get a certain age and they go up against the next great fighter as a younger man, they lose.
like I'll put it this way, right? Always in boxing, it's just in general. People think it's funny. Me and Eddie always had these conversations. The hardest person is going to be the beat is somebody just as talented or more talented, and they hungry and they eat yet. That's another thing that Bud would have with Boots. It's like other people around his age group and all that, he might be more talented. Is at a pace we both ate. When that young person didn't eat yet, they the most dangerous. The young ones coming up. Like, for example,
Like,
like at
I agree with that.
135 right now, out all them to Shakur, Tank, and all them, Abdullah is the biggest threat. He haven't ate yet. All them ate, so they on a level, this and that. Abdullah's all their biggest threat. They're probably in the next 5 to 10 years, there's gonna be another young boy that's gonna be their threat. Same thing with Booz. When Booz is in his 30s, there might be another 154, 60 that's just coming in, will be his biggest threat. Now it comes to talent. Somebody 27, 28 years old got an advantage over a 38-year-old in general.
I think that fans, like when you like a certain fighter in your mind, like you've never seen Bud lose. Perfect example, right? Do y'all think that Bud had an IQ over Floyd? Because people keep talking about IQ and experience. You know Bud's IQ isn't better than Floyd's. And you know his experience level isn't better than Floyd's. But who did you favor when Floyd was 38, 39, 40 years old? If he'd went up against Terence Crawford, what you think would happen?
Hell, Terence Crawford would have tore Floyd apart.
And that's what I'm saying to y'all. Y'all thinking with your heart because y'all fuck with y'all guy. Floyd at 39, 40 years old is not beating Terence Crawford, though. He's not.
A prime Floyd, that's different. Because it'd be what you call it. Then I look at it, same thing. Like, why you think Floyd didn't fight like the Earl Spence and all them coming up when he's already 37, 38 years old? I'm
Floyd would
going for
kill. Floyd would kill who? At 40 years old, Floyd not killing Buck, bro. Y'all out y'all fucking mind. We ain't doing that. Hey, pound for pound, you said Boots and Yo Yo. Is it even money fight? No, it's not.
who's Yo Yo.
Yo Lindy Hernandez.
Yo Lindy. That's the 160 dude. The
Yeah.
160 dude. No, he wasn't Floyd defense. You said 38. Bud is 38. He's like
I said
37, about to be
38,
38.
30, 38, 39, 40. A pound for pound. I'm just telling you, I seen what that looks like. A lot of people don't know that. I seen what that looks like. No comment.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that work.
Respectfully, it looked like anything else that you've seen. So I definitely think that Yo-Yo can rumble.
Yo Mill don't.
No, bro, you the one that brought it up. I didn't bring it up. I didn't say I didn't say what happened. I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. I said I don't think it's a 50-50 fight.
Yo, look, man.
I seen what it looked like. I don't think that it's a 50-50 fight, respectfully.
Look, man, who I'm trying to K-Fly, he was like, you think you're delusional and all this. I was like, bro, I don't know about y'all. Y'all just be what you call. I be in the gyms. I was in the gym with a lot of people. I seen Floyd in the gym. I seen Ward in the gym. I seen a lot of boxers. Mikey, I've been in the gym with a lot of people, and
You said Omek. Omek
like the
said
most
Floyd
talented person I ever been in the gym. Calling Andre Ward and all them. I was like, Boots is the most natural talented I ever been in the gym with. Now I haven't been in the gym with Roy Jones or none of them. I'm talking about
Boots ain't more talented than Roy. I don't even think.
But I was to say, I've never been in the gym with Roy. I've been in the gym with Floyd, Ward, Mikey Garcia.
You ain't gotta listen, you ain't gotta be in the gym with Roy to know that Roy's the most talented fighter that ever lived.
Jermell Charlo versus Boots is a 50-50 fight. I favor Boots over Jermell.
I think that it's a 50-50 fight as long as Charlo is active.
I think fucking.
But my man said that.
Frustrate the shit out of Charlo.
Floyd beats Boots and Bud decisively. At what age?
Boots got too much tools for Charlo. Boots should have 3 fights by now this year, confused by that activity. He already fought once.
3 fights by July?
You expect a champion to fight more than 3 times a year?
In 7 months?
Charlo is way too old for Boots. Charlo Boots is nowhere near 50-50 or something.
No, I said if he's active.
I don't even think when he's active.
Charlo's active, it's a 50-50 fight.
Boots too big for Keyshawn. I just think Boots got too much shit in the toolbox for them. From Charlo.
This ain't the old days, Anthony.
Charlo, he is a couple years younger than Bud. Keyshawn versus Boots is crazy. Yeah, Keyshawn too small.
Let's get to the rest of the 154 division though. Bakhram Murtazaliev, Erickson, Lubin. Next. Let me know in the comments, how do y'all see that fight going? I think that it's going to look a lot different from Tim Tszyu. I think that Lubin, it's going to be a really, really competitive fight, but somebody's going to get knocked out. Simple as that.
Yeah, I could see it being competitive and probably Lubin getting stopped. But it's gonna be a war. Lubin gonna be right out there. Lubin got the fastest hand at 54. Backroom by knockout. Lubin ain't that good to me. Lubin could fight.
I feel like everybody goes by a performance, right? So whoever looks good in their last performance, then they could just beat everybody.
Yeah.
Here's the truth. Tim Tszyu ain't Lubin. Lubin ain't Tim Tszyu. Different skill sets, different abilities. So I think that Bakhram fight is good.
Lubin, I think with Lubin should have started his career off at welterweight. That I used to tell people that, like, because he was always a small 54 to me. But I like
I look like an angry bird.
the fight us.
Funny.
Fundora. Brian Norman, KO Haney, YSM look like an angry bro. Keyshawn with big boots if he was the same weight. No, Keyshawn. Boots is way more talented than Keyshawn. I actually, Bill might disagree, but I think the young boy, Abdullah, when they match up, I think he gonna beat Keyshawn.
It's too early for that though.
But once Abdullah get that title at WBO, you can't put him as a prospect. Now it's all smoke.
I don't think he took the fight out of him, Damone, because he came back and he beat Jesus Ramos.
Lubin will take to out love Keyshawn, but I need to see that De La Santo fight. Abdullah not ready. No, the young boy, I think he got
Butcher.
mental. Abdullah versus Kid Austin. I'll favor Abdullah. Man, Johnny got them casual takes. No, y'all niggas is casual. Just like it's too early for Xander. If Xander get the WBO, I'm not saying it's too early for shit. Once you get a title, it's all smoke, bro. When you get a title, ain't none of that. Oh yeah, it's too early. Now you just trying to put the game. Abdullah get the title. We can't say it's too early. It's all smoke from now
on. Who's more talented, Shakur or Boots? Boots.
Boots is more talented than Shakur.
Boots has what Shakur has, but with power and explosiveness. I feel like that's what separates the two.
I think just like athleticism, being able to switch and all that.
Speak on Brian Norman Sr. always hating on Boots.
It's Boot.
It is what it is.
If you call a top 10 opponent a tune-up, I guess y'all got Boots on a different stratosphere.
Real fast, Butcher, who do you call tune-ups? Because that's the question I got for you.
Dudes be sure these outcomes will be wrong every weekend.
I think Shakur is more disciplined than Boots is.
Somebody said dudes be sure these outcomes will be wrong every weekend. Shit, I just won bread over the last weekend. Shakur have a higher IQ than Boots. Boots ducking Virgil Ortiz. Who's Boots? He's just asking who's the tune-up fight because I was like, shit, top 10s are tune-ups. Like, I don't know.
I just want to know who does he consider tune-ups at 54? Or do me a favor, who's not a tune-up at 54?
Somebody said, I think power explosive Boots got is conflated with defensive irresponsibility that Shakur doesn't have. I want Boots to fight Mendoza. Mendoza knocked out Fundora. How y'all feel about Kid Austin? He was Hey, Kid Austin type.
Wait, real fast, Johnny. Right. So, Damone. All right. So, was Shakur disciplined in his last fight, or did Shakur look to fight him to prove a point? My point is, Shakur looks to in 99% of his fights, he looks to be defensively responsible, and he looks to just outpoint his opponent. The reason why I say he's more disciplined is he will stay in that pocket. And what I mean in that pocket, he'll stay in that space where I don't need to stop this dude. I'm just going to win on points. Whereas though a guy like Boots is bloodthirsty, where Boots will take a hit to knock you the fuck out when he can do exactly what Shakur's doing, but he wants to get the knockout so bad. So that's why I said one is more disciplined than the other.
Somebody said Shakur can't punch a hole through waiting on Boots because Turkey offered him money. Well, WW, will know the tune-up soon. Waiting on Boots. He chose that fight where Boots even announced the move.
No, Butcher. What you got to do? First off, Turkey doesn't promote Boots. Eddie Hearn does. So
You
Turkey
gotta
makes off. Wait, real fast, Jack. Turkey makes offers, and guys don't take Turkey fights all the time. Virgil Ortiz was offered Bakhram Murtazaliev. He chose not to take that fight. So he doesn't. Guys turn down Turkey all the fucking time. Go ahead, Johnny. What you saying?
No, you gotta what you call
A super chat,
yeah.
Surfzilla. I think they mean gatekeepers at 154. No, they got to name names though, because you're going by what somebody else told you that he wanted.
See, that's
So
why I was
y'all
like,
tell me.
people don't listen. They already put out there that they offer Boyachuk. So I
Yes.
guess
So if you consider Boyachuk a tune up, then I guess yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. So is Boyachuk a tune up compared to Virgil Ortiz?
Virgil took Madrimov, though Boots not taking nothing. Well, I can confirm that Madrimov was offered the fight, but Madrimov just had surgery.
And Madrimov was like Virgil Ortiz's fourth fight in
Yes. Virgil's
154,
first two fights at 54 was Frederick Lawson and Thomas Delorme.
which is extra tune ups. And
you said Bud just what's the name just for Madrimov? Boots just for Stanley Ellis.
shut up, you just shut up. Somebody said Turkey blocked me on Twitter like a bitch.
Pound for pound, you gotta chill. Remember you building a
just like Boots fight
you
guy
building a brand. You said then Bakhram. You said then Bakhram and Madrimov. Madrimov was offered to fight. Madrimov is hurt. Bakhram was fighting Erickson Lubin. Go ahead.
Jesus Ramos, that'd be a good one. If y'all was here in the chat earlier, I said I personally think Ramos and Tellez and them are actually more tougher fights than Virgil Ortiz.
No comment. No comment on them too.
Why do Boots get the hate he gets? You got another. It's funny. I just mentioned it. Boots is going to have to realize is that, as a black American fighter, he always going to get criticized. Boots.
G Pacino.
After Boots beats Virgil Ortiz, he's going to get criticized.
Sergey Boyachuk turned down the fight. Boots and Ortiz are fighting. First part. Eddie says February, but I think that shit gonna like fall to May. But next year.
It's probably gonna be March, April.
I say May.
I got you. Boots need to take a risk to stop these easy fights. I guess Stanley Ennis was an easy fight. But people are like you is going. people like you is always going to have something to say. That same thing with Floyd.
Yo, I want to talk. I want to talk about 154, not just one fighter, yo.
If Boots got dropped twice and won a fight, he would have been better off losing. Oh, they must have been talking about Virgil.
Hey, just chilling. I like that fight.
You was hyping up Jermell hard at one point. Let them have their opinions. Has Boots ever sparred a guy with Fundora dimensions? He sparred bigger people. Yeah.
Limited time.
Get Boots
Boots
in
gonna
the
stop Virgil. So I can't wait till the fight's ordered. Well, I can't wait till the fight happens, and then I want y'all to just come back here as soon as the fight's over.
They're not going to give him credit. They're going to be like, oh, well, Virgil is a flat footed fighter.
Butcher, $5 for my BS. Appreciate you, Butcher.
Shout out to Butcher.
Yeah, I wish Thurman would have took the fight though.
Thurman going to come back and be like, yeah, I want 20 million. And he running his mouth. That used to be Mill Man. I never liked Thurman. He was always a goofball. I couldn't relate
I
to.
fuck with
I
Thurman.
never
Thurman's my
related
guy.
to Thurman. He a goofball. That's somebody you just can't. I don't know. I just can't relate to him. He's a goofy.
Hey, Green said that Peter Garcia, and mind you, none of these people are Boots, but Peter Garcia said that he wanted that Boots wanted the tune up. So when Eddie explains it, Eddie says they reach out to Virgil for August 16th card. Virgil wasn't ready, so they picked an October date for Boots' return. Turkey Al-Ashiki, after the date was secured, Turkey Al-Ashiki comes and offers Boots a fight with Virgil in November. They tell Turkey that they're going to fight this fight in October, and then they'll agree to fight Virgil next and to negotiate the fight now. And so that's what Team Garcia is referring to one tune-up, because I know y'all remember when people were saying it was two tune-ups. Now it's one tune-up. Which one is it? Is it two or is it one? How do you know that,
Hold on
old
one.
man? You're inclined to see if somebody is available. If they're not available, you move on. I just want to know what's the issue. What's the issue that the fight is happening at the top of next year?
It's always
I gotta ask.
Bill. What try to get you to understand? I don't even take it serious because it's always going to be an issue when it comes to when the fight get announced, when he beats up Virgil, is always going to be an issue.
Hey, Omac, did you know how long Virgil was injured for? And the only way you would know is if you call Virgil, right? To see if he's available.
Once Boots,
He declined the Murtazaliev fight for November as well, Omac. Do you want another excuse? The same date that the Boots fight was offered, Bakhram Murtazaliev and Virgil was offered for a second time. So do you want another excuse, sir? Yeah, Omac. You gotta, yo, you gotta stop condemning people and stop shooting people bail without knowing all the information. Johnny, you froze? Conwell's coming off a loss, man, so I don't know what's going on. But how do y'all like Lubin versus Bakhram Murtazaliev? How do y'all like that? I like that fight. Hey, Dub, if you in there, do you think that fight happens in Orlando? I like that fight, Teron. But Lubin versus Bakhram is happening next. I think you might be obsessed, bro. Because we're talking about the fight that's actually happened next. What y'all think? Lubin, Murtazaliev. How y'all got that going? I don't know where G is. He chilling. We at the resort in Orlando. All right, so do you think that goes in a bigger venue or you think it's going to be a Creed? I don't know. That's a 50-50 fight to me. I think Bakhram could stop Lubin, but I also could see Lubin stopping Bakhram. Who y'all got this weekend with Xander and Garcia? 154, man, is popping. Hey, good stuff. You say Virgil is the most proven at 154 right now. Why do you say that? Why is Virgil the most proven? How did you score that Sergey Boyachuk fight that he got knocked down twice in? Salute to my man Pound for Pound Sports. Subscribe to my man Pound for Pound Sports and Entertainment. That's my guy. Yeah, 40 Street Black. I don't even know what my man was thinking. Charlo and Terence Crawford are the most proven fighters at 154 pounds. Hey, yo, I'm trying to get to 100,000 subs. We got 91 people in here. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs this year. Subscribe. It's free. It don't cost shit. Y'all be on here anyway. Y'all be talking shit. You might as well subscribe to the channel. All right, so the butcher, with that logic, Brian Mendoza stopped Fundora, so his chin should have been weak for Tim Tszyu. I'm gonna do another giveaway. I'm gonna do another giveaway. Tito Mercado versus Africa. I like that fight. I think Mercado needs a fight before that. A solid guy at 40 first before he goes in there with a guy like Africa. Hit that subscribe button. Just do. What up? You said, how does getting back-to-back stoppages prove you got a chin? So Lubin didn't prove anything to you when he beat Jesus Ramos? Jesus Ramos can punch. Come on, man. I feel like picking and choosing, yo. Can't do that. Picking and choosing. Ramos took a L to Lubin, dude. What? Come on, man. And you, like, Fundora lost to Mendoza. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all gotta chill, man. What's my pound for pound list? Okay. Shit, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I'll give you my top 5 pound for pound. And then I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna sign off because I'm watching the rest of Monday Night Raw. My top pound for pound is Usyk, Crawford, Inoue. Dimitri Bivol, good buddy. Damn. I don't know what my 5th is. Oh, Canelo. My bad. Thank you. Fucking forgot about Canelo. Canelo. Canelo, then I got Bam, Better Beef. Yeah. You know how many dudes touched the hut? I don't got the Mexican monster being on there just yet. Nah, Bam's not my top 5. I got Canelo, been my last guy. Yeah. I'm about to sign off, y'all. Yo, please subscribe. It don't cost anything. I get a lot of views on which I appreciate. I have the best fan base in boxing. I fucking love y'all, man. Best fan base in sports. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subs. And for the dudes that always be talking shit on there, you know I don't care about that. I got dudes on here that you would consider haters. But subscribe, y'all. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. So I'm gonna sign off. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all stopping by. And I'm gonna put up some more videos tonight. We out.